Hey everyone on YouTube, it's me, Miss Cris. Pardon all the background noise, things are just kind of loud here. I was winding down for the night and I saw the Crochet Tag by Marcel, which, hi Marcel, and she tagged everybody in the Fresh Off the Hook family. So here I am answering the Crochet Tag questions. And I'm tagging all of my viewers who are crocheters, but are not in Fresh Off the Hook, which if you are interested in Fresh Off the Hook, go let Marcel know, one virtuous woman. So let's go ahead and get started. How long have I been crocheting? I have been crocheting for 30 years. I learned to crochet when I was 5, and I am 35. I'll be 36 this year, so 30 years. Who taught you how to crochet? I learned to crochet from my mother. She taught me pretty much all sorts of different crafts and fiber art forms. She was more of a seamstress, but she was the one who taught me how to crochet as I got older. Her mother, my grandmother, also crocheted, so I was able to get information and tips and tricks from her as well. What is my favorite hook size? What is your favorite brand of hooks? The Clovers. They have the flattened oval shape handle with a little thumb rest on it. Little short hook end. Love them. What is your favorite yarn? I don't have a favorite yarn. I love yarn. As long as it's not scratchy on my hands, I love it. What is your favorite pattern? I don't have one. I will say I tend to crochet scarves and hats more than anything else, but I think that that's because those are very donatable. There's schools, homeless shelters, the Special Olympics, nursing homes. All of these places can use scarves and hats. Who is my favorite crochet guru? I don't really have one. I see a lot of people on YouTube that are awesome. Of course, there are a lot of people who publish patterns and have notoriety for being good, famous crocheters, but I don't tend to put people on a pedestal like that. Like celebrities, I can hardly remember everybody's name. I don't do that. I will say I was impressed by the Crochet Dude because I had a question about a product. I sent a message to him, and while it took a few days, you have to consider, though, he is really, really busy, he did respond. He was very personable, and that made me happy that I own some of his products. So I guess, I don't know if he's a guru or not, but I actually like him because of just that minimal interaction. I appreciated that. What do you use for a stitch marker? I actually have, let me dig out, I have a knitting bag next to me. I'm making another pair of socks for my son. My standard stitch marker are these. They're plastic, they're little, kind of like a little plastic round, but they have an end that isn't attached, much like a paper clip. See that? I use those. They're really cheap. You can get a little box of them for just a few bucks. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Work great. If I don't have anything like that, I've used safety pins, I've used bread ties, and I've used other pieces of yarn. Like if I have a scrap piece of yarn, I will take it and lay it over and crochet over it, and then pull it out when I'm done. So I've used tons of things for stitch markers. If it's handy and it won't snag the yarn, there's no reason not to use it. What is the highest amount I've ever paid for one skein of yarn? I thought about that, and I think it would be the alpaca that I bought at an alpaca festival. The ingredients are actually pictures of the 3 llamas whose fiber was used to make the yarn, and I paid $18.50 for it, and I still have it in my stash. How many times have you redone a project before, sorry, my window's on top of it, before you got it right? Twice. I don't frog a lot of things, like rip it out, but I've been reading patterns for a very long time, and I tend to read a pattern through, I glance through it to make sure I understand everything, so I tend not to have to frog things, so twice maybe. Do you know how to read patterns? Absolutely. In charts, I don't see that question, but yeah, I can read charts too. How do I feel when I am in a yarn store? Express your feelings. It's kind of hard. I love it. You probably see me light up. I love going to yarn stores. I'm a very textual person. Like, there are foods that I like the flavor, but I won't eat them in certain forms because of the texture. So I'm very textural, so very hands-on with fiber. So I got the soft monkey hat here. I like to go into a yarn store, and I will pick yarn up and I will feel it and like squish it to see how squishy it is, rub it to see if it's rough. I will put my hand to the inside of the skein if I think I'm going to buy it. I really want to get a feel for it, so I will touch it. I have even been known, especially at the local yarn store where there are more expensive yarns, silks and all sorts of yummy yarns, and just like stick my hand in the bin and like squish 3 or 4 of them at one time. Yeah, I like it. Let's see. Do you have a lot of yarn but still feel like it's not enough? Do you think you're a yarnaholic? Of course not. Have you ever freestyle crocheted? I think the question might be asking about the freeform crochet, where you just, you take different shapes and you crochet around them and you go in different directions. I am not a fan of that normally, so no, I have not done freeform crochet. But if you're asking freestyle, where no pattern, no nothing, just sit down with hook and yarn and see what you come up with, absolutely, I do it almost every day. Let's see. Express how you feel when you are counting in crochet and someone interrupts you. I think it depends on the interruption. Most of the time I'm very okay with it, but if I've counted 2 or 3 times and the same person just comes up with the same question, then it's just like, counting, hold on a second. Do I dream about crochet? Oddly, no, I do not. I probably have, I just don't remember. Do you drive in crochet? No, 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 no. That's dangerous. That's like texting. No, 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 no. Bad, bad, bad. That's why I let other people drive so I can crochet. Do I crochet at work? Yes, I do. I will take a project bag. Now I will knit or crochet. I will take the project bag that I want. I carry my cell phone and a little wallet thingy that has my ID in it and a little baggie with my headphones. Take those 3 items, throw them in whatever project bag I'm going to take it to work, and I will crochet or knit through lunch. I do not do it at my desk because I am not in a job that I can do that. A lot of people stop by. I have a lot of projects going on, so I can only do so on my lunch hour. Let's see, what's the next question? I keep losing my place because I'm looking up. Let's see. Do you dislike it when you have a simple pattern but it's hard to follow? Due to the way it is written. Sure, I think everybody does. But usually these are, I will say I'm more likely to have this problem if I'm using a free pattern that I've downloaded from Ravelry or I found like at Crochet Pattern Central. But I always have to keep in the back of my mind that they are free. Not everybody's professional, not everybody has editors, not everybody has testers. So I usually just try to muddle my way through it. If I really, really like it, I will modify it to the nth degree if I truly like the item. Otherwise, if it's poorly written and it's not something I have to make, I'll just let it go. If I will say though, if I really love the pattern and I've had to modify it drastically, just to get it to work, not modify it because I didn't like how the original turned out, but modify it because the original would not turn out, I am more than likely than not going to contact the person if I can the person who wrote the pattern and let them know. Not in a mean way, just, hey, you know, I was working through your pattern, I saw these things were kind of wrong. I also do pattern reviews, and I think I do a fairly good job at being unbiased when I do a pattern review, because I try to look at it from different aspects, like the idea. Was the idea good? Did they abbreviate correctly? But you know, all these combinations of things, and all those are on my blog. And if you want me to review one of your patterns on my blog, I am more than willing to do so. Just shoot me a message at creationsbycris@comcast.net. That's a plug. Okay, next question. Oh, there's only 23 questions because 22 is in the middle of 21. How many UFOs or unfinished objects do you have? Honestly, not that many. I always keep several projects going, but they never go stagnant. And I consider a UFO something more that's gone stagnant. I do have probably 6 or 7 project bags. That's how many project bags I have, and there's something in each of them, and then I just cycle as I see fit, or if I get bored with one, I move to another. So they get finished out pretty quickly. You know, the Afghans, of course, take longer. So are they unfinished objects? Yes. Are they stagnant? No, and roughly there are 6. I do not have stagnant projects. Do I travel with my hook and yarn? Absolutely. And my needles and my clicker counters and a book if I need to, usually my sock book when I'm knitting socks. I find, one, I have a panic disorder and I have thanatophobia. Driving does not do my nerves any justice. So when we travel, crocheting actually helps calm me down a little bit. I can take my medication and then sit and crochet, and it helps me block out. It's very meditative. It's very relaxing. So yes, I do travel with hook and yarn, even more so, which it kind of surprised me that it surprised a few of my blog readers that I actually crochet when someone else is driving just in town. If we're going, you know, from here, you know, if I go from here to the other side of town, if I go from here to Joann Fabrics, it takes approximately 15 minutes. And in 15 minutes, especially like those hearts, those Cybele hearts, they only take 25 minutes, 30 minutes to do a whole one. So I can finish half of it on the way there and half of it on the way back, and by the time I get home, I have a heart. So yes, I travel short distances, long distances, all distances with my hook and yarn. I've gotten some pretty funny looks with the cars next to me, especially when I'm knitting with like my big straights. It's like chuk, 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 chuk. And there's these little things going up and down, and they're staring at me through the window like they don't understand what I'm doing. But alright, so that's my tag video. Like I said, since everybody in the Fresh Off the Hook family has been tagged, I am tagging everybody who watches this video that is a crocheter but is not in Fresh Off the Hook. And again, if you are interested in joining Fresh Off the Hook, I would say contact One Virtuous Woman here on YouTube. That's Marcelle. She is the founder of Fresh Off the Hook. So give her a ringy-dingy. I'm going to go play with my tablet now. I'm hoping to have a couple videos up this week, but I'm also hoping to edit my blog, and we'll see how that goes. Have a great night, everybody.